So Joe Rogan said recently, and I'll put the clip somewhere on the screen.
People that are cowards, and they're afraid of public humiliation, public criticism. They're afraid of getting ostracized from the community if they don't follow suit like everybody else is doing. And so then they start to try to enforce it on everybody else. It's like the people that were yelling at everybody else, where's your mask?
Yeah.
Put your mask on. Like, there's people. I went to a restaurant the other night. The fucking guy served me had a mask on. I'm like, I would fire this guy. I would not. Like, you can't.
Yeah.
This is nonsense. You can't be wearing a fucking mask. This is crazy.
I read
People that are.
He was upset that a server at a restaurant who was serving him was wearing a mask. He called them a coward. He said that if it were up to him, he would fire that person. And he went on just a whole tirade about how people who wear masks are afraid of public humiliation and are cowards and are a problem. Joe Rogan has long since been a brainless meathead. He has said many just outright wrong things over the years. And I've largely ignored him because what am I supposed to do about Joe Rogan? But Joe Rogan has a massive audience. He has quite a lot of influence over the people that follow him, which is very scary. And to say something like that about people who are literally trying to protect their own health and that of those around them is going to create more violence and harassment than we already face. I understand that there was a massive mishandling of the pandemic when it first started. And people were like, yeah, you do you. Because, they wanted us to get back to work. Everything was shut down and we weren't cogs in their machine anymore. And the economy was going to collapse because capitalism is shit, okay? It depends on your exploitation. They do not care about you. They care about the money. Okay? Masking is important. Masking works. COVID has been allowed to spread unchecked. When did the fucking mask mandate end? I don't know the exact date. I'll find it and put it on the screen. From that point on, that was the government telling us we're on our fucking own. And the way that we are so hyper-individualized as a society, which is also a key factor into capitalism working. We have to make sure that we only care about ourselves, that we do not involve ourselves in our community and help people and realize that we are the ants and they are the grasshoppers, Everybody's seen A Bug's Life, no? I have only been sick 3 times since 2020. One time was because I was very early, it was early on in the pandemic, and me and my boyfriend at the time and my best friend at the time went out to a bar that we usually go to because the mask mandate had been lifted. And I was like, okay, yeah, we can go. And at that time, I was still wearing cloth masks anyways, like everybody was. As new information comes out, you should change your beliefs if it conflicts with your beliefs, with the old information. That's what science is. Science is like, hey, I think that this is a thing, and then they do tests to confirm or deny, and then new things will come out and be like, actually, this thing that we thought is not a thing anymore. And then you replace that old information with the new information. That is how we are supposed to progress, okay? So I got sick from that time. It wasn't COVID. I got tested for it and everything, and it wasn't COVID. And then sometime in 2022, my boyfriend that I was living with decided to stop wearing his mask at work. Didn't tell me that he was doing that. His dumbass coworker, who also doesn't mask, got COVID, brought it to work, gave it to him. He got sick, gave it to me. And then I had all sorts of problems from COVID because I know this is an unpopular opinion for all the reasons that I've just listed. Okay. COVID is a vascular disease. It affects your immune system. It affects all of your organs. Vascular means blood, right? Where does your blood go in your body? Is it everywhere? It's everywhere. Spike proteins are accumulating in people's brains. They're losing IQ points. More and more people are being diagnosed with cancer. Kids are having inflammatory diseases and other problems. Brain fog. They're not able to learn because everybody is just allowed to get this virus that does cumulative damage. You do not build immunity to COVID. That is not a thing. Y'all are operating from like a 6th grade science lesson when you learned about the body and the immune system. You're like, oh, your immune system has to be exposed to germs in order to build antibodies to them. COVID is a virus. It is not a germ. It is not something that you want yourself or anybody to be exposed to. There are more and more studies coming out showing the damage that COVID is doing to people. I have had it 2 times. Both times were because of other fucking people who I was supposed to be able to trust failing me. And I haven't had it since. And I have had major health changes. I used to run 6 miles a day. I can't even stand now in one spot for longer than maybe 2 minutes without being fatigued. I have a walker that I take with me everywhere in case I need to suddenly sit down because my body cannot physically fucking be upright anymore. After nothing, it takes so little to completely crash me out. I am disabled. And I was disabled before in a different way. I am autistic. I have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which is a connective tissue disorder that is comorbid with autism. My life has been dramatically altered because of COVID. I already face enough from assholes who do not mask when I'm wearing a mask. On the bus 2 days ago, some guy looked at me and asked me why I was wearing a mask, and I told him because I'm immunocompromised and I don't want to get sick. There's a lot of things going around right now. And he said, well, you look like a terrorist. A terrorist? A terrorist? Do terrorists take measures to protect those around them? I'm pretty sure the very definition of being a terrorist is to cause terror and harm to people. What harm is it causing you for me not to breathe my potential sickness out onto you? That same day, on another bus that was very crowded and people were coughing, sneezing all over the place because everybody is fucking sick constantly. If you don't mask and you're wondering why you're sick all the time with random colds and other things, put 2 and 2 to fucking together. This lady on the bus was on the phone, not masked, complaining to the person on the phone that she's gonna get sick because everybody around her is coughing. And I was like, you know what would keep you from getting sick? Wearing a mask. A mask. It filters, not a surgical mask. An N95 respirator that seals around your nose and your mouth. The fabric filters out the viruses that come through, so you are breathing clean air. not everybody's sickness. I don't know why this is such a hard thing for people to grasp. When I was living in the hotel the last 2 months of 2024, I was walking back to my room one time, and yes, I wear my mask outside. I wear it everywhere. Bird flu is now in the fucking air. It is in the air. It is spreading wildly. It seems like it's gonna go person to person. There's a whole bunch of kids now. 600 kids didn't show up because they were all experiencing flu symptoms. And like, that was out of a town of like 3,000 people or something. There's COVID, bird flu, norovirus, RSV. Motherfucking Kansas has a tuberculosis outbreak. When I say the word tuberculosis, does that make you think of modern day? Or do you think of like the Dark Ages, the bubonic plague? We have tuberculosis making a comeback. Measles, so many fucking things that should not still exist because we have modern medicine and preventions to keep people healthy. They are coming back because people refuse to do the most simple thing, which is to put a goddamn respirator on your face when you are out and about around other people. Somebody called my standard of wanting other people to be masked when you're around other people, they called that like ridiculous. Like that's too much. That is not too much. I've been doing that for 5 years. The only thing that it has hindered is being able to eat inside of a restaurant, which I don't really miss doing. I am in danger when I go to the hospital or any doctor's office because even the healthcare staff, because they are also a part of the general public, it's just their job that they go to. Healthcare staff have abandoned masking. You used to see people wearing masks in hospitals prior to the pandemic because it is a mitigation tool to keep yourself from being exposed to the sickness that the people who are going to the hospital to get help for are bringing in, that you then would take into other rooms. We can't even be safe. I haven't been to the dentist in so fucking long because there's no COVID safe dentists. And I have to have my entire face exposed for that experience. When I was walking to my hotel room, I had my mask on because I wear it outside. And this couple walked past me. They had to be boomer age. And the lady goes at me. People deliberately start coughing at me when all I'm doing is minding my goddamn business, protecting my motherfucking health. And Joe Rogan's brainless meathead audience is gonna take what he said and apply it to real life because they're all alpha males and need to assert their dominance. And so now they're gonna take that harebrained fucking opinion and start harassing those of us who are just trying to protect ourselves even goddamn more. Probably even turning violent. All I want is to not get sick. Why is this a fucking issue? Critical thinking has gone out the window. For him to, listen, people constantly say, oh, do you do everything the government tells you to do? Oh yeah, I bet you just follow anything. As if the government has been telling us to wear masks. The government ended the mask mandate 1 year into the pandemic. We are constantly harassed for wearing the mask. That means we are not the sheep in this situation. How do you not understand that? I implore you to develop some critical thinking skills, to question the things that are being told to you, to look up information on your own and make sure that it is a credible source and not inflict violence on those around you with your own stupidity. Fuck Joe Rogan and fuck anyone who harasses people who are trying to protect their own fucking health. We have a duty to those around us to protect them from easily preventable diseases. Disabled people also have to go out into the world to do things. If somebody relies on just disability, they're not allowed to have more than $2,000 in assets at any given time. How are they supposed to pay for other people to do the things for them that they need to fucking do? They can't. We are just being forced further and further to the fringes of society, where we have to take more and more drastic measures to just survive. Please stop being like this. That meathead has hundreds of millions of dollars and does nothing to help anybody with it. There are people suffering all over this country. We have 800,000 homeless people. These people could easily solve these issues. And they do nothing but sit up here and do fucking ketamine and other drugs while demonizing those on the streets who are doing drugs. Just because you do it inside doesn't make you any better than those who are outside trying to escape their fucking reality. My God. I hate it here. And yeah, I would love to be able to leave. Have you looked into how hard it is to fucking leave? They keep us intentionally dumbed down. Our education system is such that we do not know about other cultures unless we somehow get the idea to learn about other cultures and seek out that information on our own. We are taught America number one, English only, everybody else is bad. We are a mass of unintelligent, unquestioning drones who are given no quality of life. We do not have guaranteed healthcare. We don't even have guaranteed vacation or maternity leave. I'm so excited for the collapse of this nation. We need to rebuild something better because this ain't fucking it. Quit your shit.